Hello and welcome back to the Gloomhaven Solo Deadly Challenge. This is going to be the Doomstalker in the Harrower Hive. So, before we get into it, just in case you don't know, the Doomstalker has dooms, where you can mark any enemy that you have vision of as doomed, and then you get a buff against them. So this one, Rain of Arrows, is +2 damage to all attacks targeting them, and then the other doom I have is Race to the Grave. It's a super wound. They suffer 2 damage at the start of every turn. Then I have a Moment's Peace. It's a very slow card, and it's move 2, heal 2, and I added a Bless enhancement to it for 50 gold. Then I have Swift Trickery. It's an attack 2, +2 if they're doomed. Fresh Kill. It's an attack 2, +2 if they're full health. And then I spent 35 gold to make it a +1. So this is a 5 damage attack on full health targets. Expose gives me permanent advantage on 1 attack per round targeting a doomed enemy, and monsters cannot go invisible. Press the Attack is 2 damage, +2 if they are doomed. Flight of Flame is a move 5 jump. Wild Command is a move 3, attack 2, targeting a doomed enemy at any range. Camouflage is an attack 3 invisible or move 3 invisible. Impending End, the top is an attack 4. If they have 2 or fewer hit points remaining after the attack, then they die. And then the bottom is a +3 to all attacks targeting doomed enemies. And the final card is Feral Instincts. It's a move 2 attack 3 on top, or a move 3 heal 4 bottom. Since I got myself 2 enhancements, I spent 85 gold on enhancements, so I went relatively light on the items. I just have an Eagle Eye Goggles, a Wall Shield for some defense, Boots of Dashing to make my moves big moves instead of baby moves, and then a Power Potion and 2 Stamina Potions. Onto the perks, the only thing that really important to note here is just how many ridiculous +1s I have. It's a crazy, crazy number of +1s, so basically any attack with advantage, it's almost guaranteed to be a +1. And that's all there is to it, so go ahead and like and subscribe, and let's get on into the scenario. Alright, so getting into the Harrower Hive here. Just a couple things to note about this scenario. First thing is that this first room has nothing in it, so I get to set up, get my expose up, so now I have advantage for 1 attack each round against a doomed target, and then I got to add a bless to my deck. So this wall, you can see this wall has 2 sections where it has 6 health. This scenario has no doors, so instead you have to attack your way through the walls. And so I needed some good tools to do that. I can't doom these walls, so I have to hit them with regular attacks. That's why I added +1 damage to Fresh Kill, making it a 5 damage attack onto the walls. And that's why I got my Eagle Eye Goggles, so I'm almost guaranteed to get a +1 with advantage with the Doomstalker, because he just has tons of +1s. So that was my basic plan for taking down these walls, is using Fresh Kill with Eagle Eye Goggles. And then here we can see a little bit of a bug with this scenario. I don't know why that snake didn't move forward. The giant viper definitely should have moved forward. He had a move 3 on the previous turn, and for some reason he just couldn't see me. The monsters don't always do that, but whenever it's like not a straight shot, whenever there's any bend through one of the rock walls, the monsters just don't see you for some reason, which was pretty unfortunate. I had put my doom onto that snake because he was supposed to come forward, and so he was going to be the first target I killed. So that previous turn I had to kind of walk up closer to him. So one thing I'm doing right here with my Feral Instinct, ooh, nice crit there, I'm positioning myself in such a way that if I draw one of my rolling add target attack modifiers, I will have a good target to hit. So that was a melee attack, so I made sure that I was standing next to the rock wall, so that if I had drawn that add target, I would have been able to hit the rock wall with the other half of that. But I just moved myself further away. Doomstalker is all about kiting out your enemies and targeting down this Night Demon next. Now, Night Demons are really interesting because you always have disadvantage when you hit them. And then with Expose, I always have advantage. So that just cancels out, and every attack I deal onto Night Demons will always be just a neutral attack. So even though I'm ranged going into a melee, you would think that it's like 2 disadvantages would outweigh the 1 advantage, but it doesn't. They wash out, and so all of my attacks into Night Demons will just be neutral attacks for this whole scenario, even if they're melee. So that's just a really nice thing to keep in mind, that I don't really have that disadvantage that everyone has normally against Night Demons. So fresh kill here, I mainly brought it for the walls, but it works against monsters too. Got a really nice crit there, so 10 damage is definitely nice. And then get myself a bless. These Harrowers are really, really easy to kite. You can see he still hasn't gotten to me, even though it's been 3 turns and he's been walking the whole time. Just going to get myself set up here. So Impending End, both the top and the bottom of this card are really, really good. But as long as the target has 2 hit points or fewer remaining, it will die. So that guy had 7 health, and I'm attacking him for 4, and just a +1 will kill, which is really, really nice. But then, unfortunately, I don't have any bottom attacks. I've got Wild Command, which will attack a doomed target, or I've got something like Impending End bottom, which will give me a buff if I'm targeting a doomed target. But I don't have any bottom ways to attack these walls to get them down faster. So, right there, I got rolling +1 into rolling +1 into rolling +1. But if I don't get anything like that, it's really hard for me to one-shot these walls, actually. So that's why I failed this scenario a couple times, and every time it was just because I didn't have enough stamina. 3 times I got to the final room against the final monster, and I lost all my stamina just barely before I was able to kill him. And most of the time it was because I was just struggling to kill the walls. So I actually sold some of my offensive items and just added a +1 enhancement onto my fresh kill, just so that I could target the stupid walls a little bit faster. But I'm just positioning myself to where I will be safe for a long rest, and going for my infinite range Wild Command into that skeleton. I put my Race to the Grave on him, so ideally I will have him die just to that 2 damage every turn, and then I can also be using Wild Command to throw a 2 damage advantage attack at him. So I'm not dealing tons of damage, but I'm able to hit him from infinite far away range, which is really nice. Then, since I don't have a Doom on this snake right here, my Doom is busy over on that skeleton. Have to hit him with something else, but luckily I have these Eagle Eyes, which come in handy for a crit that I didn't need. I just needed a 0 or better to kill him, but I'll take it. Not the end of the world. Everything's really far away from me here, so I go really slow, and then able to throw in my Boots of Dashing to get all the way close to this next rock wall section. So now I've got 2 good targets that I could get if I pull that rolling modifier. And just barely don't get the kill on this skeleton, but he does have Race to the Grave on him. So this is one of my favorite Doomstalker mechanics. I know he's going to take 2 damage at the beginning of his turn, so I can just go really slow here, and I can play a new Doom, since I know that the skeleton's going to die before my turn. Play my new Doom, and I get the effects of 2 Dooms in a single turn. That stun was pretty nice there, so it gives me basically a free turn here, although I was going to be able to go invisible anyway, so I was going to be perfectly safe for my long rest coming up here. But this snake, yeah, he's going to die. I'm attacking, not needed bless there, but oh well. So it's pretty hard at this point for me to figure out which cards I don't really need, because I really like a lot of my cards, but basically none of the Doomstalker cards really stand out as being super OP and super required. Mostly they're all just pretty good. So I do finally get that rolling add target that I've been looking for this whole scenario. I decided to go ahead and open up both of these rooms, which maybe objectively is a little bit of a mistake, but I didn't want that rolling modifier to go to waste, and so I have 5 enemies to deal with here. Now, luckily, this Harrower, this turn, he should be moving to and walking towards me, but for some reason, he just doesn't see me, which is fine with me. These Night Demons deal the most damage by far of any of the other enemies here, so he's the guy I target down first. And since there are 5 enemies here, my plan is to just be invisible. And so I've got my stamina potions. I'm just going to stay invisible and kill these guys as fast as I can. Doomstalker is absolutely amazing at single target damage, and unless you're going for a detonation Doom, kind of build, you're really not dealing very good AoE damage. But Impending End, once again, just needed the +1, but it's almost guaranteed from that amazing perk deck. So it gets the kill for me. Go ahead and use my stamina potion to get back my invisibility. This guy's going to get my rain of arrows, so he takes +2 from all my attacks. And I am invisible again, so nothing is going to be able to see me. We can just speed up to this next turn, and going for my big Impending End combo, so +3 damage, with 2. Just need a -2 or better to kill. Okay, a little bit of overkill. That's my 3rd useless bless that I've drawn, I think. 3rd overkill bless. A little bit unfortunate there. But really nice and safe long rest here. Even though I have all of these enemies, it's only taking a couple damage from this snake is not too bad. And then since I have that wall shield, every time I long rest, I'm basically healing 4 extra health on top of the 2 that I would normally heal, but sometimes I don't because I'm poisoned. So I just rested, which obviously means it's invisibility time again. It makes it basically impossible for any monsters to 1v1 you when you can just go invisible and then attack them for 20. Super strong class. I really like this exposed build. I have messed around a little bit with the other Doomstalker build, where you kind of go for jumping dooms, but you kind of really need the level 9 card for that. And unfortunately, my 4th wasted bless right there. Unfortunately, I don't get to be level 9 for this challenge. So right here, I wanted to go up into this room right above me, so that if I drew my rolling, my add target rolling modifier, I would be able to add the target onto the wall and start chipping that down. But I also really wanted this Harrower to walk closer to me, and he hadn't been walking closer to me because of all of the bends in the walls, I assume. And so I decided to take 1 step down so that I would be closer to him, which I figured would increase the odds of him walking towards me. And it does. So you can see he starts walking towards me now finally. So go for my big Impending End combo into this skeleton right here. Basically guaranteed to kill. Just needed to not miss. And Harrower is slowly making his way to me with his move 2s every turn. So these guys are really easy to kite. These are like almost the perfect enemy for the Doomstalker, because the only annoying thing that they do is they can go at 7 a lot. But even when they're going at 7, mostly they're just attacking you for 3 or healing themselves or setting up a shield of 2. And so none of that is really that bad for the Doomstalker. So we have rested again, which means it is invisibility time. Round 31. It's really nice to have 12 cards in the hand. You can just last for so long. And then really nice, going slower than him here. Most of the Harrower's cards are really fast. But my big damage combo again, one more time. Doesn't quite get the kill, but he does have Race to the Grave on him, so he will die at the beginning of his turn. I definitely make a mistake right here. 100% I should have walked up to this wall, and I should have hit the wall with a melee attack. I just was not thinking, and I didn't do that. So I possibly could have killed the wall, because I would have attacked it for 2, I would have thrown on my power potion, and I just would have needed a +2, so it looks like I wouldn't have gotten it. I would have just gotten a +1. So I did end up killing the wall on the same turn that I would have, but still, it was a technical misplay. And I think it's really funny. I brought a power potion into this scenario literally just to help me kill the walls. I didn't need it to help me kill any monsters or kill any enemies. I just needed these stupid walls destroyed. But it makes sense, because if I used a power potion on this enemy, I would just deal 2 more damage to him. But by using my power potion on the wall, it got me an extra turn where I'm able to deal like 6 or 7 extra damage to the enemy. So I'm invisible here, get a free long rest off, And now I'm full health with my shield, so this guy would have to crit me like 3 turns in a row in order to kill me. And then on this turn, he doesn't even go fast enough to hit me. And ideally, I would actually have a different card other than Camouflage here, just because it could do a little bit more damage. But because of the way my rest cycles worked out, I just ended up having Camouflage here. But this elite Harrower, this is the 4th time I've seen him, but I finally am going to have enough stamina to take him down now that the walls didn't cause me huge problems. I get a stun on him, so that right there pretty much seals it. He's not going to be able to heal himself. That's why I didn't go for a long rest here. I didn't need anything from a long rest. I was fine with losing any card, and I didn't want a long rest and have him go faster than me and heal on the following turn. Figured that was my only condition to lose this scenario. But that is it. That is the Doomstalker in the Harrower Hive on Deadly difficulty. This was a really fun one. Doomstalker it's just a great, very Gloomhaven-y class. It was really fun to play. But feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and come on back for the next one. Have a good one, guys. Thanks.